that a live flight today? Was that a helicopter flying in this morning? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if that was your personal flight or.
Good morning, everyone. We get started with the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking you to watch over this meeting of our commission, watch over our county employees as they go throughout their duties this week, and to be with the Haynes family this week. In Jesus' name, amen.
I've read the minutes and I make a motion to approve them as written.
I'll say it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Where Rick went?
We lose him already.
I think so.
One other thing I had before we get into everything today is next Monday is the 4th of July. So we'll need a motion to reschedule the meeting to Tuesday because we'll be closed that day.
I'll make a motion that we reschedule next Monday's meeting to Tuesday, July 5th because of the holiday.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I've got bills.
Make a motion, we pay the bills in the amount of $197,859.99. That's my motion.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And I also have the prisoner count from the sheriff.
Total prisoners were 20, in-house 17, 3 farmed out, 127 911 calls. Jail contacts not available. Total calls for service 270. Total civil service papers served 5. Bin inspections 11. New cases open 6. Cases closed 5. Vehicle crashes 5. Bailiff activities 108. Livestock out 0.
That's all I've got for now.
AMR? I don't guess River City's here, are they?
Good morning, Galen Anderson with AMR. So far, numbers at this point in the month, we're at 43 transports. The last 7 days, we've had 19 transports. That's kind of how we're trending. And I've just been working with some of our AMR folks and the fire folks and sheriff's department and the helicopter operator to coordinate a flyover for the Haynes funeral. And I'm just wanted to give a shout out to a lot of the folks that have been involved with just coordinating everything that needs to happen when something tragic like this happens. It's just evident that there's a lot of care and professionalism and kindness. So it's been really great to see with the effort to bring Josh back home from the city. There's a lot of volunteers from AMR that knew him for years that wanted to make that happen and be part of it. So that was good to see, just the camaraderie that goes on even after a tragedy like that. So that's all I have. Anything for me?
Nope.
I don't have anything.
Thanks.
Have a good week.
Thank you. Randy?
Good morning, Commissioners. I have a statement basically released by the ATF from the incident on 6/20/22. The fire that occurred at 714 Main Street in Pleasanton. ATF brought in members of the Fire and Explosion National Response Team as the request of the Office of the State Fire Marshal. An extremely comprehensive investigation was conducted into the origin and cause of that fire. The investigation found that the fire was not intentionally set. As such, there's no ongoing criminal investigation at this time. ATF has concluded the on-scene investigation of the building, and the building has been released to Dr. Carpenter. Though not yet released to the public, our investigators believe that the fire was electrical in nature. We have sent several items to the ATF National Fire Laboratory for further analysis. A final origin and cause report will be issued upon completion of the lab review. That's kind of an overview of the incident that has been released by the ATF. Other than that, there's a couple things I want to ask about. I'd like to request that the county offices be closed on Wednesday for county employees and officials to attend the Haynes funeral. The other thing that I'd like to request is if the county commissioners would draft a resolution that would allow the Linn County Fire Department to permanently retire his radio number from the Linn County Rural Fire Department so it could not ever be used again. I want to thank all the firefighters, other county departments, everybody in the community that's been assisting and helping honor Josh in the way that he needs to be honored during this time. So that's all I have requested for that incident. And then we also have bunker gear bids that were due today. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that?
No, I don't have any question, but thank you for all the phone call and all the questions I had for you and for David for getting that request up to the governor and for her signing so we can fly the flag at half mast for him. And certainly, I think that resolution, is that something we can get done?
On the retiring the radio
Yeah.
number? Yeah.
Yes, we'll get that done for you.
What is the number?
It's,
9203.
yes.
Okay.
And on a side note about the flags, I do have a picture and an email from the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial in Maryland, where they flew the flags at half staff the other day in his honor too.
You're wanting to talk about the funerals on Wednesday?
Yes.
David, have you got, we've done this before, right? Release people who want to attend the funeral,
Yeah.
not necessarily close the office, but
Well, I mean,
it's an opportunity for someone to go and,
however you guys wanted to handle it. We have closed before, and at times we've just said everybody's free to go to it if they want to without.
And left it to the department heads to
Yeah.
close if they had to, if everybody was going to go.
that would be my choice.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Do we make a motion for that, or
I think so.
make a motion to just allow the department head?
Allow the employees to attend the funeral and department heads to close their department if necessary.
That's my motion.
Second,
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
let us know, Randy, if you need anything from us.
Okay. And like I said, the only other thing we have is the bunker gear bids. Usually you guys will open them and then give them back to us and we'll review them and get,
They're right here?
yeah, and contact they'll bring in like samples where we can look at and then bring them back to you guys and say, hey, these were the bids. This is what we
Okay.
like. So,
Got bids here. There is one that's open. That's because that one came in the mail to me and I opened it before I realized what it was.
Sure.
While we're open, I want to thank you, Randy. I know it's not something that you want to deal with on your first week or two on the job. And I know I've reached out to you a few times and I think you're doing great on everything you're doing. I want to appreciate the time and effort you've put in. And I know it hasn't been easy for anybody. You got my phone number if you ever need it. There's a few other people I'd like to thank everybody, but there's a guy named Scott Lemaster with Take It to the Streets. He actually came down and sat on site with a trailer and I think porta potties in it maybe, or
Yeah.
bathrooms or something. And he does it all volunteer, and he sits there for the ATF and just kind of volunteers his time and cooks some barbecue and takes really good care of them. And so I want to thank him. And I think Chris Pinion's part of that, right? The chaplain, you know?
Chris is the chaplain. He
Yeah.
helps.
So he came down and dropped his visual, and so I want to thank them, you know, especially, and everybody else involved too. But I want to give them a shout out. So I know Kevin's been deeply involved with you, and there's others too. I just
What you got?
Total was
The first one I opened up is Weiss, W-E-I-S-E, or W-E-I-S, and they said they were, unfortunately, they could not give a quote. So they mailed that in saying they couldn't do it. The second one's from Municipal Emergency Services, and you can verify the bid, but the amount come in at $33,419.30.
This one is from Dealers Jury Ingram Fire and Rescue. The total equipped and delivered price for all items was $30,180.50.
Who did we deal with last time, do you know?
Jerry Ingram Fire. And the way that bid's set up, it basically kind of locks the price in for 3 years for us. So we don't have to bid it every year. We have that option to get it for 3 years at the same price.
Okay.
What was the municipal, what was the rest of it?
Municipal Equipment Services,
Yeah, did you write that down?
I did.
What is it, 33?
It was $33,419.30.
There you go.
mine's failed fire equipment.
Failed.
Or yeah, I think it's what it failed. Failed, yeah.
I don't know if I'd
And they're
buy that. Failed fire equipment.
I don't know. I got two different letterheads, but I think that's what it is. Yeah, we'll just say failed. For $29,317.70, and they're waiving the shipping cost on the order because it's over 2,000. And that's for 10 coats, 10 pants.
That's what it looks like, they all are.
Yeah. It should be for 10 sets, pants, coats.
So do we let him review these now, or?
Yeah, you're going to get back to Randy and he's going to go through them and verify all the bids and look at samples of the equipment.
Thank you, Commissioners. Any other questions or anything?
Thank you, Randy. Yep. Yep, come on ahead.
I just want to let you guys know that I am in disagreement with having a box put outside the courthouse. I still need my mail to go to our PO Box 350 because I have too much important mail that goes there, and I can't really trust the post office to sort the mail.
And I'm in agreement because I get trays. Several times a year I get trays and I have to send out trays. So I would prefer the mail stay as it is.
Do we decide that?
Only
We
for,
hadn't decided
You hadn't
that. I mean,
decided.
well, we're just letting you know
We're
how
just
we feel
letting
about
you
it
know.
because I think the courthouse itself,
I've got a ton of stuff that's pre-printed.
Pre-printed,
It
yes.
all says PO Box 350
Yeah.
on it too, so it would be
Yeah.
bad to check.
But, you know, the problem that you're hearing discussed is they don't want to quit wherever they're doing in the middle of the day and go get the mail. But there's nothing that says they got to get it at 11 o'clock.
right.
And I talked with Janet about this, and we came to the conclusion that when they deliver the mail, the outgoing mail to the post office at 3:30, that's fine to get the incoming mail too.
Just
And as far as that goes,
You'd be okay with that?
We could-
Especially you, Janet, because don't you have people that's mailing bills taxes and all that.
So then you
Long
just
as
get your mail the next day, probably. I mean, if I didn't have time for that, but it'd be at the courthouse.
It'd be at the courthouse.
Right.
And it would be fine.
So one trip.
And it can be, unopened mail can be left in the courthouse. I mean, there's no security.
It sorts it.
No, I know, but I mean, if you go pick it up at 3:30 and bring it back, it's okay to leave it overnight?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
They got a vault, you know.
Yeah, we
Okay.
put them on vaults.
okay.
And there's, at times, like, I know with your taxes coming in and me with elections, we might go up and grab it ourselves on some of those days just because we need it sooner
Right.
than that. But I mean, we do some things like that at times anyway when we're looking for something coming in.
I'm obligated by statute to record things as they come in, so it's very important that I get the mail. And like David said and Janet, I mean, we've got pre-printed envelopes and such, so.
I'm okay with whatever. I just think
He's the instigator.
I think it's weird that our maintenance guys could be over in Centerville and they stop at,
Well, it doesn't have to be the maintenance guys. I mean, as far as that goes, we could be put on a rotationary.
that's what I'm saying. I don't
basis
care how it's done. I just
You
don't
know, we
want them
could take
stopping
turns
there.
going to get it, or,
That'd be great. I wish everybody would figure it out.
but I'm just saying, just for the courthouse, I don't,
Right.
I know that everybody else, the other buildings are going to need something, but for now, just the offices that are
We're
in the
not in
courthouse
favor of a
itself,
box outside at
Right.
all.
for the courthouse.
Let's
Okay,
leave it as it is.
Let's get a box.
Thank you for your attention.
If you could,
No, I'm just kidding, Jan. Calm down. You're all right.
thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Jessica, I guess there's, Missy, you want to come now? I guess you got one at 10:05. Okay. Jessica? He said he didn't have any today. Okay, you want to come now?
You can,
She's always talks.
Okay.
All right, just
She don't have very many friends, so when she gets here, she just narrows it down.
Burton Harding, County Attorney. I'm just here with my budget today. Attached a brief explanation letter with it. Essentially, there's 3 changes on the budget this year that I'm asking for. Those 3 changes are an increase in payroll of $2,100. That would represent a 50-cent increase to 2 employees who haven't had a raise and I think have done a very good job and deserve that. An increase of $3,000 to contractual. That's kind of a guess at, now that the courts are open and we are doing trials again, that's just an anticipation of some expected costs for what those trials might be.
Is that by the hour? Is that how you chart? Is that how they're paid, by the hour?
Oh.
Yes, by the hour. So again, just anticipation of having some trials next year that we haven't had in 2 or 3 years. I've asked for $3,000 just to, for preservation of evidence, witness fees, and that sort of thing. And then finally, the big one is that capital outlay increase of $41,000, and that's for that software that I've talked to you about. We'll pay it off after that. That'll only be on this year. It'll just be the licensing fee of $3,000 or so a year, which we're already paying a licensing fee in that neighborhood for the software we've got now. So you won't really see any change in that. I think by my math, that just that payroll and contractual increase is an increase of about 1.6%. So I think I'm still well under where we were a couple of years ago. So that's would be my request for my 2023 budget.
Do you already have, I can't remember, do you already have that software or is it ordered?
No, it's ordered. They had a 12 to 14 month lead time. We ordered it back in April or May. So hopefully in the first half of next year. I spoke to the Cherokee County attorney who has it, and he said that they were real aggressive and proactive about sending over the information that the software company needed to get it done, and they got it in a, I can't remember what he said, but a shorter period than that. So I'm hoping maybe, knock on wood, if we can be active about it the first quarter of next year.
Okay. You guys got any questions?
We already talked about the program you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's all I think I've got for today. If you guys don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion we tentatively approve the attorney's budget for 2023 for $365,600. And that's with the added cost includes the added cost of the new program that he's buying. He's put in the budget that we talked about earlier. It's $46,000. So that's my motion.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
How's everything going in your office, Burton? I mean, do you have a date on when you're gonna be moving over? Or do you have
Well, we're boxed up and ready to go, basically. So when we get the thumbs up, I think we'll be heading over. We've got a couple high schoolers ready to go to help us move some stuff. And
When do you think that'll be? Do you know, or?
well, I guess we're just waiting for the fire marshal's approval.
That's
But
all.
We're waiting for the certificate of occupancy, which is the fire marshal's.
But my office may be the easiest of all the offices to move. I mean, we just need to the desks are already there. We just need to put a computer in. The chairs are there. Just have to just physically set the surface on the desk and plug it in, and we're about ready to go. I mean, we've got, office supplies and some files and binders and stuff to move over, but, we're not like IT or district court that has a lot of, setup. We're pretty plug and play as far as that goes. So, we're kind of ready to go. To answer your question, it's going pretty good. We got that part-time girl in there, and she's doing a really good job, and that's really eased the greased the wheels on everything else, that we don't have people doing 2 and 3 jobs at a time. Everyone's kind of got their duty, and it's clicking along pretty well. We've got our new judge appointed, and she's done a really great job so far. She is a former prosecutor, so criminal law is really what she knows most and is her forte. So from my office's perspective, it's a pretty seamless transition. She knows what she's doing, and I think is doing it well. We've kind of got, when the courts announced that they were going to open up trials again, we had a huge amount of cases that were threatening to go to trial. We've kind of sifted through the cases that people were just hanging on because they could, and the cases that, where we're, after so much time, we're comfortable proceeding to trial. And we've got, I think a handful, 3 to 5 cases or so that really look like they might be going, and we've got a arraignment set. So again, I anticipate we will be having some trials soon. So that's a good thing and exciting as we get into the new big courthouse. So we'll hopefully be able to take advantage of all this stuff they've got over there. The diversion program we've kind of tinkered with a little bit. And I don't think we're done tinkering with it just yet. We've been requiring donations to local charities. I can't remember what the dollar amount is, but every donation has to donate so much to the Children's Coalition here in Linn County. I got invited to speak to one of their meetings and to let me know what they've been able to do with that money. And apparently that's been a really positive thing for them. They were able to help out more families than they had been in the past. So I'm really proud of and happy to the changes that we've made in that diversion program and what we'll be able to give back to the county. And we're looking at, ways to kind of do even more with that.
So typically a diversion costs a little more than just an actual fine, right? So you're saying that extra money goes into the children's?
So ordinarily, the diversion would, you pay a $50 application. Well, it depends on a felony diversion and misdemeanor. It would cost everybody paid an application fee, $30 or $50, and there's a $100 diversion fee. And then on top of that, we have, and so that money goes back into the county. That goes back into the general fund. I don't know what the dollar amount is, but we refund back to the county several $1,000s a year through those diversion program funds. And then on top of that, we'll require, extra, I think it's maybe an extra $50, $25 will go to this, and $10 to this, and $5 to this, and to again, local charities. The bulk, I think, goes to the Linn County Children's Coalition. So the diversion would be, their court costs, their fines, their attorney fees, and that sort of thing. And then on top of that is the actual diversion fee and those donations that we require.
That's great. That's all I got.
I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything.
Thanks, Bert.
Thank you very much.
Quick Tom, you want to come ahead? I guess we're a little early, but if you
Yeah, I asked to put them on. I wanted them to explain to you their thoughts about, we asked about holding 20% of the thing, and they've got some specific thoughts about that. And I thought rather than me trying to explain their position, it'd be better for them to explain.
Yeah. So, good morning. One of the things I do for QuickCom, one of my job roles is purchasing, acquisition of materials, things like that. When you guys passed, and actually just a little before you guys passed, we were pretty sure we were going to get the project. We started lining up materials, getting quotes, putting stuff on hold and things like that. In our industry right now, it's incredible the changes in the last 2 years. I'm getting lead times for certain materials of 52 weeks, meaning I can't get those materials for 52 weeks once I place the order. So that's kind of our hang up and why we're wanting to discuss a change there. We're not confident that if we don't do everything up front, we'll be able to meet the 2-year timeline, because we'll be building by the end of this year. But if we don't have if we have to wait to order some material, we're not confident that can be here in that 2-year time frame. And I only expect it to get worse. So, what I don't want to see is lead times get higher and price get even higher than it is today. So that's really our main justification for doing everything up front. Normally that wouldn't be an issue.
Do you have a cash flow problem? Is that what you're saying?
No. Well,
Because you're asking for all the money up front. No,
well, we're asking for half of the project up front. We're going to be, obviously, we have an investment here also. So no, cash flow is definitely not an issue.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that we get the material in. We're working on about 4 different projects right now. So, we're ordering materials in for, I don't know if you guys heard or not, we're actually doing City of Paola through the state. We got a grant through them. So, we just got a lot going on right now. We want to make sure that this one doesn't get put on the back burner and left out. We want to make sure that we can come in on time and on budget, and we feel like that's the best way to accomplish that. So,
I just don't like paying everything up front until we.
yeah, no, I get it. The other thing I wanted to point out is the language that we sent over is very aggressive on the our requirements to finish. So normally, I think you see, if you finish 50% of the project, or if you don't finish 50% in time, you have to pay 50% back. Our language we just pay everything back if we don't come in on time. So I think there's a lot of protections in that agreement. Gary, I think you agree.
Right. The agreement that they propose says if they're not finished on a timely manner, according to the 2 years, that they pay the whole $580,000.
Yeah. So there are protections in there. I understand your hang up on, just paying everything up front. That's different industries do things different ways, and that I see your hang up there, but we want to make sure we're very aggressive on our commitment to get the project finished. So that's why we put that in that way.
But what if your lead time on your material turns into 70 weeks, and then we don't really have any pull on what we can do to try to make you guys more aggressive with your suppliers? It's just normal for big contracts like that to hold some kind of retainage. I kind of had the same contract with the Chiefs on my locker room, and they owe me $7,000 still. So
Right.
That was 3.
Well, and so I guess that's what I'm getting at is if we do this now and do everything up front, I can be confident that we have everything if we do it up front. That's why we're saying that.
And if they don't, Danny, they had to pay all the money.
Right.
Yeah, that was the other part of the grant agreement is, anything after the materials, labor cost overruns, we didn't quite bid enough materials, that's on us.
Right. We're
If
taking
that slows us down, you're clawing all the money back.
right. We're taking all the risk on any overruns and, things like that.
I'd like to hold retainage, some kind of retainage. I get where you guys are coming from. I
Right.
totally get it, and I just feel like that we have
So
to.
you can't do the project if we were to put a retainage, or you're going to put it on hold?
We've already
Because then
put,
I'm not interested in you if that's the case.
right. I'm not saying that that's I would have to have a very serious conversation with my admin team and see if that's something we want to risk.
What's the risk though? I mean, we're giving you $580,000 per form of duty and we're asking for, what, 10% to hold back at the end? I don't think.
What we proposed was 20, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm open for discussion on, some kind of retainage or progression draw or something. I mean,
Right.
it just,
maybe we should have put that in the specifications and we didn't,
Right.
but, doing what's right for the county, it's not our money.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah,
We have to do what's right for us too.
sure.
And if we don't think we can meet our timeline because material lengths, ability to purchase material, we don't want to put ourselves in a position where
Sure.
we're not going to meet the timeline and then now we have to pay you back. So, it's a kind of give take thing there where I understand where you're coming from, but we also don't want to put ourselves in a position to not be able to meet a deadline, which in this current market is very, very real possibility. So, there's a lot of costs that we are going to be putting into this project that, makes it hurt for us too. Lots and lots of labor. I'm sure we're going to go through 4, 5, 6 sets of rock teeth, things like that. So those are all the things that we're putting in. We're not just asking for $580,000 and, we're just going to go make a bunch of profit and be scot-free. We're going to have to put some hurt in too. So.
Sure.
we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I would just feel more comfortable if you guys could work with us some way and we agree on some kind of retainage,
Right.
where we have a lot of fight in the game. That's all I want.
Right. I'm gonna have to talk to my team and just make sure that's something that we're gonna be able to do. I know you guys probably don't meet next Monday, do you?
Tuesday.
Oh, you on Tuesday? Okay.
We'll meet Tuesday.
I can have that conversation with our team. I just, I know with the way materials are, we were wanting to get everything committed immediately so
Sure.
we could have it in time. So,
Why don't you go back and talk to them and see
Yeah.
what you come up with?
okay. Yep, we can.
I don't think you're going to get us to budge.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I know you're not. So
So
you might budge on the percent.
that was my question. Would you be willing to go 10%, somebody threw 10% out as opposed to 20?
I'd be fine with that as long as we had something in the game. I mean, that would.
Okay.
I think it's,
That may help. So we'll have a discussion with our team. If I go back today and my team says, let's go for it, is there a possibility that we could expedite?
can we do this right now?
Yeah, you can approve a contingent on a
10% retention.
10% retention.
That way we can
And
just.
and that way I can go ahead and get the contract done with them.
Okay, that's my motion.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
All right. There you go.
If,
Good negotiations now.
Yeah.
Get that deal done.
if for some reason, and I can't foresee, I don't have our checkbook, so I don't know what our situation looks like. But if for some reason, our team says that's still not doable, we'll reach out and we'll come back and just go from there. So,
Okay. Sounds good.
all right. Thanks, guys.
Mike, do you have something?
I just wanted to bring it to your attention that, 108, it's an old international truck that we had up at Inland, I don't know, a month or two ago. I don't remember when it was, but it's down again. And we're thinking that the, computer or injector module that we had replaced has went out again.
This is one we just had in the shop.
Yeah, we had it up there because we put injector, what was it? I don't know, we put a injector wiring harness in it and it still wouldn't run right. So then we sent it up to Inland and they had to put an injector module in it and it's not running again, which I was going to call one of the two mechanics that we do have in the county right now to come up and verify that the computer's dead or something. Because most generally, you don't get a warranty on electrical stuff but And I haven't called them and asked, but I'm just letting you be aware that it is down again. And I was,
Aren't the internationals the ones we've had the most
yes,
trouble with over the years? And how many we got left of those?
2, I believe.
2 left?
I think Todd's crew still runs one.
Too many?
Yeah, I know that one's had 4 or 5 motors put in it.
Yeah.
But I was just wanting to put it in your mind that we might want to think about replacing. Well, actually, we got 3 internationals. Mount City's got an older one that we might want to replace a couple of them. And I think Sean's been working on some pricing, but
Okay.
I just wanted you to be aware of it, that it is down again. And
How much did it cost for that? Is it the same part, basically?
well, see, I don't know. I'm going to have a mechanic come up.
If it is, how much was it last time?
I was thinking
The
it
seven?
was like 10.
Was it more than that?
I know it was just over our budget, Sean's budget. No, that's not a different one. I don't remember
For
what.
some reason, I had 7 to 8 in my head, but I don't think that was right.
I was thinking it was 10 or 12, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember. But that's all
That's all the good news you got?
Yeah.
I've got a legal issue involving a contract matter that I need to have an executive session on and need to include Mike in for, give us some insight on it.
Okay.
So before he leaves, we want to do that.
You want to do it now or
It'd be fine. It'll take 10 minutes probably.
10 minutes executive session for legal with Mike? That's my motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
God, you did.
No action, I guess. No, no action from executive session. Yes, Missy, are you ready, or you can come ahead if you want to?
Okay, I'll start out with our activity report first. Last week, pardon me, we had our Children's Health and Safety Fair and community baby shower. We checked in over 100 kids, and so there was probably at least about 200 people there because each child had a parent. So we consider that a great success. We're really happy with it. Got a lot of thank yous. Jessica was there helping. Yeah, it was good. Face painting was the hit, and probably food. So plan on doing that again next year.
Good.
So what?
I said great.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought David did. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. So this is my budget for the rest for 2023. Payroll. I don't know if you want me to say all the numbers. I mean, you guys.
Yeah, you're fine. Why is it going down,
Why is what going down?
your budget?
It's not going down.
Or her payroll, I'm sorry. From 2022, you show 300,000. Next year, you show 272.
Because that incorporates the one-time payroll adjustments for outstanding work with COVID on one of the grants.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Okay. So that is payroll. FEP, which is Public Health Emergency Preparedness, that's a yearly grant, and that shows how much we get, and then our expenses. IAP is another recurring grant. We get the same thing every year. MCH, that's Maternal Child Health, is a recurring grant, and that's how much we get per year. State is recurring, and 12,000 is how much we get a year. IAP 4 was a COVID grant and 110,000, but it will end, as you can see, I put the end dates on them, 6/30 of 24. And I don't know if that one will be again or not.
So do we have, under that grant, do we have an employee that's being paid out of that?
Yes, not one. Each person does work on a grant, and when I get their time studies, then it'll be like, this one has 4 hours underneath this one has 4. There's not one grant that just pays one person. Okay?
Okay.
IAP 3 is another one. It was 63,000. It also ends 6/30 of 24. CRCET, which is Core Resource Coordination and Expanded Testing, was $223,991.95. It will end the 1st of December of this year. Now, some of these have been spent. WIC, with our WIC and our breastfeeding coordinator, it's $95,286. It is recurring, and that depends on our WIC caseload. Now that one, Danny, I should say, that one is one that pays our WIC. Our WIC RN, 85% of her salary is paid out of that, and our breastfeeding coordinator, 37% is paid out of that.
And that's reoccurring?
That is recurring, yes. Our state is 2.0 was a new grant that we got this year. They decided to give us $7,000 extra March 1st and it will end July 1st. And that's already been expended. We pretty much spent all of it on the baby shower and some other things for the health department. EI is expanding infrastructure. It will end 7/31 of 23. It was 148,793, and it is probably not going to be recurring. And then you can see our contract.
So what can you use with that? I'm sorry.
That's
What can you use with the expanding infrastructure? What had we used?
COVID related.
What's that?
Has to be something COVID related. Getting out to the communities, just expanding.
Okay.
anything that we
Is that the one where the board talked about maybe doing a drive-through lane out there? Like,
Yes, it is.
Okay.
We had talked about building an awning so that when we go outside to test, that we don't have to stand in the rain or the snow. It would just be a covered drive for them to pull into and then drive around.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can see our others, contractual utilities, our medical director, commodities, and our capital outlay. And then our total. So, I'm probably gonna have to get bids. In fact, I know I am, for two things that we're looking at, which is the awning. And then we had also talked about using some of this money for a possible, digital sign so that you can see it better. We can put our runners across there of our upcoming things, like our health fairs, our health promotions, COVID testing, all those dates and stuff that would run across there.
so about 330,000 of this is your actual tax revenue, and the rest of it is grants. Is that what I'm saying? I mean, cause it like, on all those grants, the grant is like 13,000 and that's what you budget to spend out. So it's all money that's passing through.
Yes,
And so of that 702,000, only about 330,000 is actual tax money. The rest of it's grant money.
the rest of it's grant money.
So on it looks like you had 5 grants that'll be ending within the next couple of years. How are you figuring, are you just gonna run those back over into the actual budget after, or how are you gonna reconstruct things after those are done?
We'll just have to run it back in the actual budget, or hopefully there'll be some more grants. There is a possible grant that is, they used to send out, which is called CRI, and it's kind of an emergency grant. And they usually kept it at one place and divvied it out as we needed it. The director called me the other day, and they are thinking about giving 25,000 to each county yearly. And so if they do, instead of keeping it, they're looking at divvying it out. If they do that, then we'll use that for kind of put some more salaries over there. And there's always grants that you can look at and apply for.
I think I'm still a little confused on some of this.
Okay. I'm not surprised. It's my first time.
So I see, all the grant stuff you've got in there.
Mm-hmm.
But are those amounts then not included in the other categories somewhere on the expenses?
Well, like our medical director is paid out of a COVID grant.
But then do you not list that expense down like in the contractual line? You're just listing it on the grant line?
Yes,
Okay.
because that's the way I bill it. Because
this is, the total expenses, the actual for last year was 408,000. And you're looking at 702. I'm just trying to figure out how we went up that much.
because the grants went up, because we got those grants.
So there's money left over that you haven't spent.
Exactly. And the grant dates there are when I have to have them spent by.
And you're wanting to budget to spend.
Yes. And yes, we won't be able to spend it, and the state wants us to spend it, because it's not like going back to the county, it will go back to the state. Yeah. It's hard too, because grant dates are July 1st to June 30th, where our fiscal year is January to December. So it's kind of,
On an IAP 4, you show $110,000 grant, and show you spent 55,000.
yes. And we have until June 30th of 24 to spend that. And so we're kind of spending that throughout to 24, because that is one that helps pay for a salary. Part of a salary. I'm sorry?
You don't get that same amount each year. It just goes through them dates
On which one?
on that IAP 4.
That was a special grant for COVID. That is not one that we get.
Where is this grant money at then, if we got this much grant money?
We get it when I send in my quarterly reports.
Okay.
Then they send the check to the treasurer's office.
David, could you work with her through these numbers and get a little more
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I know.
Right.
Because I've got to get it into like our 4 basic categories.
Right. Yeah.
Could you work on that a little bit and then come back and,
Yeah.
so we know where we're at?
I'm just, that's my biggest deal, and I didn't get a chance to look after you dropped it off the other day. To do with other
That's okay.
stuff, but-
Well, and like I said, it's very confusing because the grants,
I like how you broke it down like this too, so we know.
yeah. David had asked me to do that, so you guys can actually see what we're getting, what we're spending, and,
Okay.
and we
You
want,
guys have time this week to look at it and
Hopefully, I don't know.
try to and see what,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah.
let's do that.
Okay.
How's everything in your office? Is there anything that isn't going right? I mean, is there anything that you need from us? I mean, is everything,
No, I think
it's not
we're,
falling down around you or anything?
no. I think we're doing good. Just
Okay.
trying to get stuff done. COVID numbers are going up, but just from what I've seen, they're not quite as sick, so that's good. I mean, it's gonna be here.
I think Kansas City, Missouri are thinking of or already did impose the mask mandate back.
I heard that on the news.
Yeah.
Kansas City, Missouri did.
Yeah, I heard that on the news.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely have to amend this year's budget. And this will probably be more helpful for next year because we only had 414,000 in the budget this year, and you're showing you're gonna spend 554.
Well, it's because of those.
Yeah, but we'll still have to amend the budget.
Sure.
Spend it. But having this ahead of time
Does that help?
will be helpful because maybe we can set this budget high enough that we won't have to worry about amending then next year.
Do you have any other budgets that you've received getting?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any other or any grants that you have applied for that you think you're gonna get?
Well, that one, the 25,000. And then there's always grants out there you can apply for. We did get a $1,500 grant from Walmart. I think I told you about that, guys, and we're gonna use it for, school supplies to help kids with school supplies. And then we're applying for another 1,500 grant for Walmart.
How does that relate to health department for spending for
Walmart?
school supplies?
Just assisting them with people, that aren't going to be able to afford the school supplies because of COVID, or maybe they're not working, or gases went up and they're having to go.
So the schools are not eligible to apply for that grant?
Anybody's eligible to apply for a Walmart grant.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody can.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope, I don't have anything.
I don't have anything.
Thank you.
Thanks, Missy.
Thanks.
Jessica.
Good morning. Jessica Hightower, Economic Development. I don't have a whole lot this week, I don't think. I got the tarp ordered this morning for the hoop building at the airport. And we discovered that they had actually quoted us for some hardware that we didn't need. So the tarp, the amount is going to be lower than we originally thought. And that was, we're going to be responsible for $1,000 deductible. The rest will be covered by insurance for that one. Noxious weed was able to spray 4 days last week. They got 47 miles of roadside spraying done. And then Wednesday they had, I think it was too windy to spray on Wednesday, so they did some service requests and did some office stuff on Wednesday. And that's going to be their plan going forward, is to spray roadside as much as they can, and then on days that they can't spray, they'll get their service requests done. For maintenance, we had an issue with the heat and air unit at Lacey and AMR. We ended up spending about $9,000 on that to get that replaced last week.
Sean called me on that.
Don't we need to ratify that?
Yeah.
So need to make a motion to spend the.
Right. So 9,000.
You got the number, Jessica?
I don't. He just told me that it was about 9,000. I don't know what the.
Let me look, because I had That was what Jason was.
Weber.
Yeah, Jason
I
Weber.
have an email from him this morning. Let me see if that one's on there. Well, he's got, the grand total of the invoice he sent us was 10,789. However, there's some other things on it
He
too.
had to go multiple times, work on
Yeah.
that thing ahead of time.
So
charge it back up.
there's a 325 on that building, and another 325. 25.
Sean said for the AC repair alone, it was 8,700.
And then, yes, 8,700 on the,
So should we pay it all, even the service calls all together, or how's that work?
well, I think probably what we need approval on is the 8,700 because the others were service calls before that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we allow $8,700 for a new AC unit through Jason Weber at the AMR building in Lacey.
I'll second it. Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I got RFPs back last week, for the environmental study. Well, both of them, at the 2 industrial parks. We got 3 responses. You want copies of them?
You'll find them very interesting reading.
I bet.
What is it? Fireman?
Environmental.
Study on industrial park over here
Oh,
and on the,
you can keep that. I don't need it.
I
I'm not gonna read it.
probably won't read it.
Okay.
I'll read it.
You need it, Danny. You need to figure out how to get out of the next one.
Gary has copies of these as well.
it's a pretty established thing, what a phase 1 study entails. So it's not like they'll be bidding on different things. They're all bidding on the same.
So we asked for a phase 1 environmental study at the Linn County Industrial Park at Pleasanton, and then at the county-owned lots at the Lacey Industrial Park. Do you want me to read the numbers out?
Yeah, he can go. She can
Okay.
go.
Terracon came back at 4,700. Environmental Works came back for 4,800.
Number 48's my lucky number. We'll go with that.
And then Olson was, let me find it, 7,000. So quite a bit higher on that one.
And restate what this was for.
Environmental studies, phase 1 environmental studies for both industrial parks. And this is a step towards getting them shovel ready to market that ground.
Did this include behind Casey's in Pleasanton, did it?
Do what?
That property behind there, behind Casey's in Pleasanton, was that included in any of this?
No.
A lot of stuff underground there.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need any action on this today. Just wanted to get that in front of you guys.
Terracon for 47.
Right. Yeah. I need some executive session. I need 10 minutes for legal and 10 for personnel.
Morgan going with us?
Do you need some?
I'll need 20. How long do you think?
Oh,
Oh, no.
probably 20 minutes. If you need the personnel.
Personnel.
You get us lunch jackets on I said, would you get us lunch? We're going to be in there for a while.
So you need 10 legal and 10 personnel for Jessica and 20 minutes legal, or 20 minutes personnel for Morgan. You guys want to do it now?
Sure, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Good. So total of 40 minutes. That's my
Hey,
motion.
do you have anything else after that?
I'll have something after.
Oh. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. What? Yeah, no. There was no action in executive session. Let's see, David, you taking yourself off the agenda?
Right there, straight ahead.
Okay, she can come back, yeah.
Okay. I have my budget now to talk about for economic development.
Hey, while you're doing that, the busy bugs, what did we ever do with that?
We just, we gave another
Not-
few months on the contract.
Oh, just a few months? Okay. 'Cause
Are we working on that any as far as getting qualified with the weed department to get?
Yeah, they've got the manuals that they're studying for the test for. They're
Okay.
doing that on their downtime. Yes,
Those guys just agreed to do months.
until we were ready.
I saw he was posting on the internet about his business being for sale or something, so I didn't know what we had done. So,
We talked to him last week. I think he was in here.
And I didn't catch maybe all what you were saying, but he's closing his business pretty quick too. I don't know if you knew that.
well, that's what
But
I
he
kinda
said he
thought,
would
too.
continue to take care of our stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
He's got a few customers that he's going to still come back for. He's either already moved or has moved, I think, to the Wichita area. But he's coming back for a few days every month to take care of his customers until.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I handed you my budget there.
Oh, sorry. Do you have any future plans or anything coming to you for the economic development that could, like any big plans?
I mean, besides trying to develop the industrial park,
Yeah.
that's the big thing that I'm working towards, yeah. So I've actually decreased the contractual from 38,000 to 30,000. For the past 3 years, we have not used the entire amount in contractual, so I'm going to drop that down a little bit. I've increased the capital outlay from 3,000 to 10,000. That's to cover the phase 1 environmental study and a little bit extra to try to address any remedial issues that could come out of that. And then I've increased the payroll for 40 hours. So it's a total increase of 14,344. The budget request is for 106,344.
David, how many budgets will you have left after this one? Before we can start talking numbers?
Okay, the big thing we got left is the benefits. Other than that, all I've got are some non-tax levy funds. So really the benefit budget's what we're waiting on me to finish after
Sure.
we got all this in. I've got like special alcohol, sewer district, special park and rec, but those are, I just look at cash balances and budget what we've got there. So it's no big deal on those.
Okay.
Didn't you come to us a few weeks ago and say you had about a development plan or company that for the airport?
Mm-hmm.
Is that included in this?
No, that's the airport budget that we did
Okay.
last week.
Economic development.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Do you have any more budgets to turn in besides this one?
No. This is it.
We're all done. Sean's is all done too?
Yes. We did his elderly last week. Now he's done.
is the $5,000 incentive, what's that for? Is that for small business?
That's to use for a small business if we want to. We haven't, I don't know that it's ever been used. I asked David.
Do we have some of that already from past budgets? Or is this new?
This is not new. It's always
Something we've been putting in there from year to year.
just so it's there if we need
It's
it.
an incentive if we need it, and we've rarely spent anything out of it.
So we're putting 5,000 more in it this year. How much is in it? Or is it just 5,000 altogether?
No, it's just
No,
5,000.
it's, that's just what it
It's
is.
not an increase,
Okay.
it's just the same amount again as what we. So really, that doesn't affect because we didn't spend it this year, so it's not,
Okay.
we're not increasing by that amount to do anything.
My thoughts is the same as I've told everyone else. If you're over your budget, then you're in jeopardy if we have to work to cut. So-
I understand that.
Okay,
Yes.
so I don't have a problem tentatively approving your budget, it's just
Okay.
as long as you understand that. That's where I'm at.
Yep.
That's the way I feel too.
Yeah.
So Danny didn't have anything. My motion is tentatively approve your budget at $106,344.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Just a couple other quick things. Planning and Zoning Committee is having a workshop tonight at 7. They're discussing proposed zoning changes. And then we're having another workshop tomorrow night at 7 to discuss both the comprehensive plan draft and the planning and the zoning changes with IBTS. So Jennifer will be here tomorrow night.
So she will be here. to help.
Tomorrow night, yes.
Okay. What kind of guidance, do they have any, when they start changing planning and zoning, there are already ideas out there what they're wanting to change?
We have draft regulations, draft zoning changes that Jennifer has sent over to Darren to look at. And that's what the planning and zoning is going to go through them tonight.
Have we seen them? I don't recall receiving
I don't
those.
know. I can forward you them if you have.
Please.
Yeah.
I'd be
We
interested.
can do that. We had a really good workshop Thursday night. The committee had great ideas on updates, questions for the planning, for the comprehensive plan draft. It was a really good meeting on Thursday.
We're
So
having a meeting tonight to go over.
tonight at 7, tonight at 7, it's just the planning and zoning committee. They're having a workshop. Jennifer will not be there. They are going through the zoning changes that are proposed so that they can kind of get, if they have any questions, they want to try to get that all, worked through so that she can come and have a list of questions that she already knows about on Tuesday night. So then on Tuesday night, we're going to try to go through the questions they had on the comprehensive plan draft and anything they come up with the zoning changes tonight.
Okay.
Both meetings are here at 7. And there's not going to be any action taken at either meeting. It's just workshops.
You want those back?
I can take those back. And then I will be out all next week.
Okay.
Quit?
No,
Vacation?
cattle show.
Okay.
Doesn't really count as vacation.
That's a vacation to you.
Not really. You guys have anything for me?
I don't have anything. Anybody else?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica. You have anything?
I do.
I do too, before you.
Okay.
Yeah, that too soon, didn't we?
You asked me last week to prepare a resolution to put a four-way stop at the intersection of 1250 Road and Andrews Road. I have prepared that. I don't have a resolution number. I neglected to send this to David and get one. But it is a resolution establishing a four-way stop at that intersection.
I'll give you a number here in just a second. It would be 2022-23.
Okay, so if,
We don't need to read it.
huh? Oh, I don't, you don't need to read the whole, it's just standard resolution,
Just makes it a four-way stop.
makes it a four-way stop.
Yep. So I'll make a motion that we pass resolution or adopt resolution 2022-23, a resolution establishing a four-way stop in the intersection of 1250 Road and Andrews Road within Linn County and providing for enforcement thereof. That's my motion.
I'll second it. The moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
You'll all three sign that. And David, if you'll send me a copy when you got it.
I can do that.
Okay.
I put my John Hancock.
You asked, we discussed last week a situation over on State Line with the tube under the road. I talked to the state people that were in charge of that reclamation. They were very nice, but they said they didn't take that tube out. We took it out. And they've got some ideas about it. What she'd like to do is meet with somebody out there, either with you guys or with one of you guys or with Sean or somebody.
I went and looked at it the other day. We piled a bunch of mud up against the,
So you'd meet with them, wouldn't you?
yeah, I can meet with them, yeah.
Okay.
Piled mud against the tube or?
No, against their, it's like a, looks like a little, just a wet area, a little swamp area on it'd be the east side of the road. And it's actually kind of dips down. It is pretty bad.
She says at the time this was done, Mr. Messer committed to installing a culvert under the road following the project, and this has not been done. As a note, Mr. Floyd, property owner on the west side of the road, was opposed to the installation of the culvert since the water coming from Missouri was iron-laden mine water. So there are some issues there, but she
Why do we have to meet with them?
the
Why
water's
can't we just
coming
put
over
the
the road.
culvert
That's why
in?
it's washed out anyway.
That's, she asked for a meeting. That's
When
all.
do you want the meeting?
Well, we'll have to set one up. I mean, she says, she'd like to, I think she has in mind meeting with somebody and determine exactly where the culvert needs to be, probably.
I think you can see it's pretty,
Yeah.
it's,
So if, I don't know if Sean is the guy, is he getting around or
I don't know.
Not yet.
then maybe Mike or Harry and you could meet with her or something?
Yeah.
Or does that's kind of Mike's area, isn't it?
No, it's Harry's area.
That'd be Harry's area.
Yeah, but I think Harry's off now.
So either Jessica or Mike. Jessica, would you want to?
Well, then let me, let's see if we can set up something up with her and you and Mike to meet out there. Are you available about any time or?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't really work, you just.
Takes the jobs and
You just run a business.
takes the deposits and leaves.
Take some money. Go
Just kidding, Danny, just kidding.
Yeah, we'll try to make whatever work.
Okay, I'll get something set up.
He tries to get 100% of the deal right up front.
110.
Let me jot that down. The other thing I've got is, we had some applications for dumping fee assistance.
A lot of
The city of Lacine has condemned 9 places, I think it's 9.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
2.
We ain't got nobody living there, but we got big yards there.
Maybe it's just 6. I don't know. They were,
That's right.
they condemned some places and they're going to tear them down. And so what I'd like to do is I'll just read you the addresses and the property owners' names. They've all
I'm
been.
not on there, am I? Go ahead.
I think maybe you are. They've all been checked by Dennis. Darren. I keep calling him Dennis. I don't know why. But they all been checked by Darren, and they comply with our regulations. So I'll read the addresses and the property owner's names, and maybe you can do one motion for all of them, assuming you're going to approve it. 46 Black Oak Drive.
Yeah, I get a copy of that.
Yeah, I'll have him make the list and email it to you. How about that?
That'd be fine.
46 Black Oak Drive, property owner are David Balo and John Gunther. The second one is 93 North Lynn Valley Drive, property owner is William Woodrum. 61 Spruce Drive, property owner is April Long. 238 Fawn Valley, property owner is Catherine Armitage. 9 Lynn Valley Drive, property owner is Lynn Valley Lakes Property Owners Association. 86 Silver Shadow Lane, property owner is Robert Spradling and Patricia Rubel Kelly. So those are the properties.
You need to do a 5-minute legal on that.
Okay.
Make a motion, we go into legal for 5 minutes.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, two things. One is, I misspoke. These are all in Linn Valley, not Lacine. I don't know. I was thinking right, I just didn't say it right. And second, the one at 61 Spruce, we're going to pull out of the group and not include it in the request for approval right now. And
So we have 8 properties.
how many? I think it totaled. I think the list I gave you was the 8 or 7. I don't know. I originally said 9,
7.
but when I counted again, I don't know. I lost track. But we've been working on a changing list as time goes on. So Darren's going to send you the list for the minutes, but it's all the ones I read except the one at 61 Spruce.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we pay the reduced dumping fees for those properties that's listed, minus the 61 Spruce Street.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is that everything for you?
I got one. Eric Jager had messaged me.
Oh yeah, that.
He wanted me to, he just wanted to be sure that we were going to put some gravel behind his building. I don't know if I can't remember. I think we talked about it, allowing them to park there and utilize it and eat lunch there or something. And I guess it's a mud puddle now. And he was just wondering if we were still going to do that. And I told him I would talk to you guys, and he didn't want to bother Bill because he knew Bill had a lot going on over there. So I told him I would try to get it figured out. So
That's not one of the ones that we had a formal agreement with, but we have done some damage there. And so if you
damage, we should fix it.
if you're okay with that, we'll go ahead and get that fixed.
yeah, he just wants the back of it gravelled. So
I don't have a problem with it if we damaged it.
Yeah.
And there was one other thing I forgot to mention too. We've had a request to rent the Bunker Hill Center on Friday nights for a dance, kind of a regular thing. We do have a group that I think rents on Monday or Tuesday nights on a regular basis for a dance. These are senior citizens.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't see those.
That's not, this other group is not particularly a senior citizen group. They just want to have a dance. Joyce asked me, can we rent it to them? And I thought I'd better see what you guys thought. But you may want to, for example, have some kind of constraint on the use of alcohol. I don't know. That's up to you. But I don't know if you want to have, I don't know what kind of group this is. I'm not saying they would do so, but you don't want to have a drunken brawl in the community center. You may want to allow them to try it for a week or two and see how it works, and then come back. I don't know, but it's there. Originally, that was established as a senior citizen building, and there was a board of directors that made these kinds of decisions. But that board of directors has not been active for decades. I think it was not even active when I took this job, which, as you know, was when Hector was a pup. So, so the commissioners, by default, have made these decisions, and so we've got policies about how much we charge and things like deposits and keys and cleaning, but we don't really have a policy about who we will rent it to. In the past, there have been things that we rented to that were money-making deals. I think we rented to a tool business one time that set up a sale in there, didn't we, David?
I think so.
And there was some question at that time, can people rent this and then do something to make money? And I think the decision at that time was, yes, they can. Well, this group, that's what they're wanting to, charge to get into their dance and make a little bit for the band and so forth. So I don't know. I didn't know what to tell Joyce. It's really your decision. So
I don't have a problem with it. On a temporary basis, something that's good, then that's.
I don't have a problem with trying it in a minute. See what.
Well, I'll tell her that it's all right with you to go ahead and rent it to them, but let's tell them we'd like to do it for a few weeks and see how it goes, and then we'll reassess.
Okay.
And you didn't have in mind any kind of restrictions or just see what happens?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Have we allowed alcohol in there before, or is that an illegal place?
We've never officially allowed it.
Need to, is that what they're asking for?
The only time we've officially allowed alcohol on county property is when somebody got a license. We've had a few events that people got licensed to serve.
Whatever we're requiring everybody to do, that's what I'm.
Okay, well then, we probably should take the position that no alcohol should be allowed. Don't you agree with that, David?
Yeah. I won't be there then. All right. I had one other thing. Been in contact with our employee benefits consultants, and they've looked at some different options on our health insurance renewal. We really did not find anything that's going to save us any money on it. We looked at like changing the individual stop losses, and while it would make a difference, it would in some cases lower our fixed cost, it would then increase our claims projected liability because the county would be paying more on claims, and overall it's not much of a change one way or another. So we're just looking at renewing with the current options. So I was looking for an okay from you guys for me to sign the contract so we can get that wrapped up and taken care of. So just a motion to authorize me to sign the Blue Cross renewal contracts.
And that's our best deal, right?
We have not found anything better anywhere else for the kind of coverage we have. It's just having 2 or 3 bad years caught up with us and it all hit at once. But
Could that be covered by, I mean, is any of that because of like incidents like that, like using the health insurance because of COVID? I mean, could we use ARPA funds to help set any of that or no?
I have no idea.
What do you guys think of that? I mean, is that kind of
Worth looking into, maybe.
It
Ask the
wouldn't
question.
hurt to find out. I mean, that would be something we could ask, contact at regional planning if we could use part of the funds for covering some of that. They just wondered if there would be any chance of using some of the ARPA funds to help cover some of this increase on the health insurance. I have no idea.
Surprised.
Got
Gary
the
didn't
final
think-
rule. I didn't bring it with me. I'll look and see if it said, but yeah, I agree with David. Talk to regional planning and see what they say, because they're supposed.
We can check into that this week and see. I mean,
Okay.
I think it would hurt, would it?
no, it won't hurt a thing. Find out.
Anything else?
That's it. Are you okay with
Yeah.
authorizing me to sign those? I probably should have a motion to.
I'll make a motion, we authorize David to sign the agreement on the health insurance.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Don't forget we're on Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
If you show up Monday,